Hello, my name is Edwin Johnson, and I'm here to give a speech about managing diabetic blood glucose level. Do you or a member of your family or friend have diabetes? Managing this disease can be challenging at times. I have been married to my wife for 35 years, and 31 of those years she has been struggling with diabetes. At times, managing her glucose level is like riding a roller coaster. Obeying the doctor, taking the proper medications, diet, and proper exercise is all necessary to properly manage blood glucose levels. Diabetes left unchecked can damage the heart, the eyes, the nerves, the kidneys, and more. Controlling the blood glucose levels can help delay these complications or avoid them altogether. As you listen to the speech, you will learn why testing, taking medications as directed, monitoring the diet, and exercise is important for the diabetic to maintain proper blood glucose levels. Based on the readings and the fact that my wife has 31 years of our 35-year marriage has been diabetic, I've gained some extensive knowledge on the effects of out of balance and imbalanced blood glucose levels over all these years. I like to inform you of the tools required to help avoid or reduce these complications. First, I'll cover a little bit about the various types of diabetes. As noted by Amy Adams of her article, How Does Diabetes Affect My Body?, people with diabetes have increased risk or damage to the eyes, the kidneys, the nerves, and blood vessels. My wife is a good example of this due to the fact that she has had diabetes for so long. She now has neuropathy in her extremities and is facing 4th-stage kidney failure, and she also is preparing to undergo dialysis. Diabetes can affect us at any age, from newborns to adults. They are divided into 4 main groups. Type 1, which is juvenile diabetes, is now a part of this group. This type of diabetes usually appears in newborns to young adults, although can be at any age. This type accounts for 5 to 10% of all diabetic cases. Type 2 diabetes, which is the most common classification, affecting 90 to 95% of diabetics. And gestational diabetes. This is a form of diabetes that occurs during pregnancy, affecting roughly 4% of all pregnancies in the U.S. yearly. And prediabetes. In 2010, 79 million Americans had this form of diabetes, as I read on diabeteswellbeing.com website. This form is elevated blood sugar glucose levels. If these sugar levels are not monitored, it can develop into type 2 diabetes. Now that I have covered the various types that people can have, I will cover ways to manage these glucose levels. This will involve 4 main activities to keep in control. 1 is testing. 2 is taking medications as directed. 3 is monitoring the diet. And 4 is exercise. These 4 steps are all important for the diabetic to maintain proper blood glucose levels. My wife's blood sugar goes up and down like a roller coaster, especially if she is sick or when she eats too much ice cream or the wrong candy. Even the wrong types of food can trigger her high levels. So it is important to know how your body reacts to certain foods and how they are affecting the blood glucose levels. The most accurate test to diagnose diabetes is A1C test, which a doctor can perform. This test can show how the blood sugar levels average over time. Testing current glucose level can be accomplished by using what is known as the glucose meter. The finger or sometimes forearm is pricked, then a drop of blood is placed on the correct location on the strip. The meter will read the blood glucose level from the blood sample. Your doctor will supply the proper range that you should maintain your values within. Another thing is medications. They may be prescribed to you by your doctor. If your doctor does prescribe you medications, then be sure to take them as prescribed. Some are taken orally and others are delivered subcutaneously, injections. Diet is another important factor in controlling the sugar levels. Most all food contains an amount of sugar. Some have more while others have less. Some foods have sugars can be broken down by our bodies fast while others slow to break down. The diabetics are looking for foods that have sugars that break down slow, so the body has time to work with the sugar as levels change, not break down fast and overwhelm the system with an instant burst of sugar. We found eating raw broccoli flowerets to lower my wife's blood sugar within 1 to 1.5 hours from 20 to 50 points. This will not hold true for all people, but some will see these results. You need to experiment to find what works for you. Everybody is different. Sugar-free candy can be another problem. You really have to check the labels. There are other words that represent sugar to the diabetic. Check to make sure the candy that is consumed does not contain sugar, alcohols. These can act on diabetics like sugar itself. My wife found this out the hard way. Exercise is another important aspect for the diabetic. They can help with improving circulation and exercising in cardiovascular system. Some simple exercises the diabetic can perform, like walking, or just doing simple chores, even gardening, riding a bicycle, sports. The exercise my wife's father called, which was a twist. She just swaying her hips. So to manage the blood glucose levels, all the 4 categories, testing, taking medications as directed, monitoring the diet, and exercise should be closely monitored. It takes a balance of testing to gain knowledge, proper medications if necessary, proper diet, and exercise to maintain the proper blood glucose levels. So thank you for listening, and have a good day. Bye.